I'm Sarah Starr, and this is your space weather forecast for the day. Solar weather yesterday reached moderate levels. Our solar winds did pick up speed. We reached around a KP6, went into G1 and G2 geomagnetic storm levels, and those will still be persistent throughout the day today. There were some beautiful auroras that were seen in the northern hemisphere, and there's a chance of seeing some more today. So today we have the moon in Pisces energy, so it's going to help us slow down a bit, get into that rest mode, which we need. So this is going to help try and renew your soul, at least for a short amount of time. We have the moon aspects into Mars, so that's going to create a little bit of restlessness today. Because Mars wants us to take action, but it is not the time to take action. It is time to rest. We also have Venus and Pluto teaming together. This is helping to unearth new desires, usually having to do with love or money. However, it is putting you in a position of control over it. This means that you're able to set those boundaries that are desperately needed, either within yourself or with others. So let's check out the solar weather, because that has a lot to do packed on top of the planetary alignments right now and what you're gonna feel. So early this morning, we hit these KP6 levels. We have thus died down, but we are going to continuously see them pretty high around a KP4, KP5, may jump back up to a 6, but this is from those CMEs, the waning influence. But remember, we have some more that are coming too, backed on top of it. So from the 19th, maybe until the 20th, we're gonna see these glancing influences. And note that the proton and the electron flux has went down, so we are back at baseline, which is really good because you don't want the extra symptoms that goes along with. So currently we are around 500 kilometers per second. It was pretty persistent between 450 and 500. It is supposed to slightly rise today up into 600 levels, but we shall see. It looks like it was more of a glancing influence, more so than a direct impact. And you can also see how that is prominent on our density, because we dropped pretty much in density, although we had some larger rises into the 30 range. However, density, that's still moderate, which is also a good thing because density can really play a toll on your physical body. Now we have 11 sunspots on our sun. We had quite a bit of new numbered regions. However, they are pretty much all stable. 3514 is heading off. It is still numbered, but we're really not going to get anything from there except some very small C-class flares. And if we did have a big burst from there, it wouldn't be Earth directed in any sort of way. So we are going to look at 3519, but not too much going on, guys. So we are going to look at 3519 because it is shedding a little bit of light. Note that yesterday, before 3514 went a little bit more quiet, it did give us a small M-class flare, and it's still giving us some very small C-class flares too. And this is what 3514 looks like. You can barely see it. Still in beta and gamma range though. Size obviously went down, but you can't really even see it. And if it did go off yet again, we wouldn't have any Earth-directed components. But we are still seeing some C-class flares, even though the percentage says we have a 25% chance for an X-class flare. Yet again, the probability of this reaching or having an impact on Earth is very, very, very minimal now. And this is 3519, so this is in beta range, relatively larger in size, around 130, but we are seeing some light from here, and that's why our 40% chance of having C-class flares is very prominent, because it's pretty much what we're going to get from this region until it becomes a little bit more closer apart and some of these buffers dissipate. So here is the coronal holes today. So we have one larger spot down here. It is going to be Earth directed in the next day, and then we also have a larger region right here. There are some filaments that surround these areas as well, so we are going to look if there are some filament eruptions there. So here's our Schumann. Note the frequency below me is a little bit higher, so this means that your frequency is a little bit higher. Here's the Schumann right now. So we are getting some density. It looks like a little bit of collective purging, which makes sense. A lot of crown chakra activations, yet again, root chakra activations. And a little bit of that ego is being shed. So yay. A lot of things, a lot of big things may be happening for you or to you right now, especially before the new year in the winter solstice. And that's specifically for a very specific reason. So all of this energy is helping you bounce into that new year, that new timeline shift that we are heading towards. So there may be things that are not working out in your favor, or they are, it's kind of like hidden in disguise. Sometimes things just don't seem that lovely, but they're in your best interest. But note, the emotions may be running a little high that trigger. So on the sun, we have lots of potential region. The solar winds are going to stay persistent right now, and that is going to be until maybe the 20th, depending on if we have any more bigger flares or potential influences. But we do have polarities that are incoming right now, and they are going to enhance those solar winds. And the solar winds are going to be persistent until the 20th, because we do have those influences from other multiple CMEs that are coming in. And I loved reading all of the comments yesterday, so I think it's so interesting when other people who are very sensitive to energy pick up on the same exact energy wave that it comes in around the same time. I think that is so cool. You should think that's cool. That's cool. So I find that really interesting. That's like my little side study is the people who are more sensitive to energy and the incoming waves. Like, when did you notice this hit? Like, did you become dizzy at such and such time zone? It's really, really neat how all of this goes together. I don't know, that might be weird. It's probably weird, but I think it's pretty neat. So yay, we get a break. Today is all about rest mode. So do not take action. Today is not the day to take action. You're being pushed by the moon in Pisces to lay low and to take care of yourself and to breathe a little bit. You're getting the permission to breathe a little bit. So take it now. I'm Sarah Starr, and this is your space weather forecast for the day. Love ya.